Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Game 14 in the 1977 Chicago White Sox replay. This is actually Game 2 of the doubleheader played on April 24th, 1977. The White Sox won the first game of the doubleheader 6-4. They're looking to sweep and take 3 of 4 from Oakland before they hit the road for 2 games in Detroit. So they're trying to go 3-1 here at Oakland Alameda County Coliseum. Starting for the A's, and this one will be Mike Norris. And in 77, he was only 2-7 with a 4.77 ERA, so he was kind of just starting out. And pitching for the White Sox is swingman, reliever, and starter Bart Johnson. He's usually in the bullpen, but he's coming out to make a start. In this one, you see he had 4 starts on the season, 4-5 with a 4.01 ERA. So they're hoping to get some innings from him because their bullpen is a little bit on the slack side, but they'll see what they can do. Let's go through the particulars here. Since it's the second game of the doubleheader, the weather remains the same as it did in Game 1. And now Richie Zisk is up to an 11-game hitting streak. You can see the lineup there for the Sox. Changes, of course, is catcher Brian Downing will catch the second game of the doubleheader. And for the A's, the catcher is Jeff Newman. Most everybody else is pretty much the same. And we will be ready to go here in just a moment. I do need to pause the video briefly because I do need to go and get the my tablet, because when I was mentioning bullpen guys for the White Sox, I forgot about Silvio Martinez, who is not carded, but he is one of their long relief men, and he very well may be needed in this game. So I don't want to come up short. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and drive on, and if I need to use Martinez, then I will pause the video and go get the Strat-o-matic app on the tablet and use Silvio Martinez. But we're going to see if we can get by without him. If Bart Johnson is on his game, maybe he can. We'll see. Right now, first man up is Mike Norris on the mound for the Oakland A's, and he'll be facing leadoff man Ralph Garr, lefty on righty matchup. And game 2 of the doubleheader is underway. We get a 3-11, and a 3-11 on Garr is a ballpark single check, which is 1-4, just like in the first game of the doubleheader. And we get a 13, so he's actually going to line it to second base. So I'll pull the score sheet a little bit more closer here with the White Sox batting, and then slide it up on the A's bat. Here's Alan Bannister, shortstop. 1-5 against the right-hander. He's going to ground to second. Handled over there by the second baseman, Rodney Scott. And that's 2 away. 2 up, 2 down. And here's George Orta. 2-8 for Orta, and he pops it up to Scott at second. And that's a 1-2-3 inning for Mike Norris. And the Southside Hitmen go quietly 1-2-3 here in the first. As maybe Mike Norris is bringing some stability to the Oakland pitching. We shall see. Right now, Bart Johnson getting his final warm-up tosses in. We'll be facing the dangerous Bill North. Dangerous being, if he gets on base, he can run. All right, here's switch hitter North batting left-handed against Johnson. 4-8. 4-8 is a fly to center. I'm using my pen to point because sometimes I'll pick up the wrong column or the wrong row. So I'm going to kind of dummy proof it, for lack of a better term, so I don't misread the cards. Here's switch hitter Rodney Scott, 3-7, and that is a strikeout. So Rodney Scott down on strikes. Good start for Bart Johnson. He needs to limit the number of batters he faces so he can try to go deep in this game. They'd like to get 6 innings out of him if at all possible. Here's Mitchell Page, 3-8. He's going to strike out as well, and it's a good start for both sides. Both pitchers are off to the good start. After 1 complete, it's no score. And Mike Norris back out to start inning number 2. He's going to be facing Richie Zisk, who enters the game with an 11-game hitting streak. So in the first game of the doubleheader, he got a hit right away, and he needed it because he didn't get a hit going in the later innings. So he's going to see if he can get that out of the way right now. 4-3 Probably won't do it here. It's ground ball pitcher X. He's a 2 E38. He might reach on the error, but he probably won't get a hit. 2 and an 18. I know he'll make that play. So let's check the error possibilities. He's an E38, and this is a 7. So E38 and a 7, and unbelievably, there is no 7. There's a 6 and an 8 and a 5 and a 10, but no 7. So good play for Mike Norris. He's able to field a tough grounder and throw it over to Dick Allen before Richie Zisk is able to put his foot in the bag, and we got one away. Here's Jim Spencer, speaking of first baseman. 6'11", lefty. 6'11" is a ballpark single check, and again, it's 1-4 for Mr. Spencer. 18, he's going to line to second, so Spencer for hire didn't work out there. 2 up, 2 down, and that'll bring up DH Royal Stillman. I was questioning his DH being placed as a DH in game 1 of the doubleheader, and he ends up in the home run, so I don't know if Oscar Gamble was banged up or what, but I would have thought Gamble would have been the DH, but we'll see. 5-6. Norris against the lefty, 5-6. He's going to ground to Piccolo at short. And that's going to end the inning. So Norris has retired all 6 he has faced. As the Sox go meekly in the second, we go to the bottom of the second. And Bart Johnson back out. We'll be facing the veteran Dick Allen, first baseman. 2-9 for Allen, struck him out. So Allen out on strikes. Brings up the DH, Manny Sanguian. He DH'd in the first game. He's DHing here. 5-11 against a righty. He's going to draw a walk, and that's the first base runner of the game. Belongs to Manny Sanguian. And he's no threat to steal. Stole 2 bases, got caught 5 times, so he's not going anywhere. That'll bring up third baseman Wayne Gross. Nothing on the D20. 2-6 for Gross, and that's a strikeout. So 2 strikeouts and a walk in the inning. Will take us to right fielder Sheldon Mallory. And we get a 3-11 for Mallory. That's a split chance. 1-14 is a single with 1 star. 15-20 he lines to second. It's a 7. It's a single with 1 star. First hit of the game. And Sanguian will only get to second base. So 2 on now with 2 outs. And we turn it over to Jeff Newman, his first appearance, I believe, in the series. Jeff Newman. And I guess we can say in Seinfeld style, hello, Newman. So here's Newman. 3-6, and he grounds to short, handled by Bannister, and that's going to end the inning. So hello, Newman, and goodbye, Newman. He is out of there, and so are the A's. So after 2 complete, we are scoreless from the Big O. And we get ready to start the top of the third. And we will have Eric Soderholm leading things off for the Sox. So we bottom third of the order, Soderholm, Lemon, and Downing. 2-5. 2-5 is a solid single for Soderholm and gets the Sox off to Schneid. Gets the first hit of the game for the White Sox. Brings up Chet Lemon. Soderholm not a threat to steal. He's not going anywhere. Lemon, 1-8. That's a single, 2 stars. So all of a sudden, bottom portion of the order coming through for the Southside Hitmen. They have 2 on, nobody out. For Brian Downing, he hasn't played in a while, so he should be ready and raring to go. Lemon, let's see if he thinks about stealing second. Stole 8, got caught 7 times. Norris is a +1. Newman's arm is a -1, so that's a 0. So even if he got the jump, it would be a 13 at best. You know what? They're going to try it. Let's see if he can get the jump. They're going to take the chance, see if he can get the jump. Now, to get the jump, he needs 2 through 6 or 12. If he rolls a 9, he's picked off. It's a 7, so he does not get the jump. So we eschew that and go straight to the at-bat for Downing. We get a 6-4. 6-4 is a ground ball shortstop X. That's Piccolo. And if we look at the fielding prowess of Piccolo, he is a 3 E26. 3 and a 6. That might be trouble. 3 and a 6. No, he's going to get to it, but it's runners are going to advance. 3 and 6 is a G3, so the runners are going to advance. This is a 9, and he is an E26. Shortstop E26. There is no 9, so it's good play. But runners will advance, which means Soderholm will score. We're trying to turn 2, but the way the ball was hit, he couldn't do it. So give Downing, let's see here. Yeah, give Downing the out, RBI ground out to Piccolo 6-3, and Lemon will move to second base. But it is an RBI for Downing. Sox lead at 1-0, and Lemon's at second base with 1 out for Ralph Garr. Garr, a 6'4" lefty. Norris against the lefty, 6'4". Another ground ball shortstop X, so Piccolo gets another chance. Could try to turn 2. That's a 15, so this one could be a double play, I do believe. He's a 3 and a 15. A 3 and a 15 is that G1, so it's possible double play. That's an 8. Let's see if we have an E. There's an 8 on the E26. There is no 8, so it is a double play, 6-4-3. And that will end the inning. No, I'm sorry, he was at second base because he advanced, didn't he? My bad. Good thing I pay attention sometimes. So going to third, staying at second rather, is Lemon. We're not going to let him go there. He's going to stay at second. So he stays at second with 2 outs for Alan Bannister. Got ahead of myself on the outs. Here's Bannister. 4-8 against a right-hander, and that's a double, so that's good, or possible double, I should say. 1-2, 3-20 is a single, but it's 2 stars, so Lemon's going to score either way you go. It's just a matter of whether Bannister has a single or a double. It is a single. So it's an RBI single for Alan Bannister, and the White Sox take a 2-0 lead against Mike Norris. Bannister, not really a threat to go. He's going to hold up right where he is for George Order. Give Order a chance, which he ought to do. 3-8, and he grounds to third. That's going to end the inning as Gross makes the play. But the Sox pick up 2 runs in the top of the third. They break the ice first. And we go to the bottom of the third. It's White Sox 2 and the A's nothing. Bart Johnson joining that lead. He's going to have Rob Piccolo, the batter. Piccolo, nicknamed Peach by his peers. 4-7 is a solid single off of Bart Johnson, so base hit to start off the bottom of the third. Here come the A's. Piccolo only stole 1 base, got caught 4 times, so he is going to be stationary. Here's Bill North. North, 111 for North, and he gets plunked. He gets hit by the pitch. So Bart Johnson can't stand prosperity. Given a 2-0 lead, and he gives up a hit and a hit batsman. So right away, Rodney Scott is up. He's an A bunter, and he's going to be laying one down right here to try to get the runners into scoring position. No question about it. He's going to be a B bunter because the Sox have the infield in at the corners. Thing is to stand up here. Okay, so Scott is now going to be considered a B bunter. We get an 8, and the fielder is decided by this 2 here. So B bunter and an 8 is a good sacrifice. The white die being a 2 means it went to the pitcher. So Bart Johnson fields it, and his only play will be to first base. So it's a sacrifice hit. We'll call it 1-4 as Order had to go over there and cover as Spencer was charging. So runners are at second and third. With only 1 out for Mitchell Page, a base hit could tie the game. Mitchell Page struck out his first chance, this time to 5-3. That's a ground ball pitcher X. That's Bart Johnson. He's a 3, E16. So a 3, E16 for the pitcher Johnson. 3 and a 15 should be no problem. 3, the infield's back. Well, actually, with the hit to the pitcher, it's considered in. So 3 and a 15 on the range here. 3 and a 15 is a G2, and that's a 12, and he is an E16. E16, there's a 12 there, so he's going to boot it. So he got to it, but he's going to boot it right there. So E1, and that will allow the run to score. and they'll go ahead and give him an RBI because you can't assume he would have gotten him at the plate. He may very well have gone to first or who knows what, but runners are going to advance, which means Piccolo will score. Give Page the RBI. Cuts the lead to 2-1 with 1 out for Dick Allen. And runners are at the corners, so double play is still in order. It's a 5-6 fly ball left field B. That's going to tie the ball game. Sacrifice fly by Dick Allen. And the A's come right back and get those 2 runs that they gave up in the top of the inning. They get them right back, and we're tied at 2. And I'll bring up Manny Sanguillen, the DH. Sanguillen, a 112 ground ball to short. That's going to end the inning. But the A's counter the White Sox 2 with 2 of their own. We go to the 4th. It's 2-2. And that'll bring up Richie Zisk, trying to get his hit to keep the hitting streak alive and move it to 12 games. Got to face Mike Norris to see if he can get that done. Grounded back to Norris his first attempt. 3-6. He will walk this time, so he still won't have his hitting streak. But he'll have at least 2 more at-bats, you would think. Zisk not a threat to steal, so he's not going anywhere. Here's Jim Spencer. Spencer, 5'8", is a lefty against Norris. Ground ball first base B, so Dick Allen will throw to second. Piccolo covering for the force, 3-6. Fielder's choice. Spencer's now aboard with 1 out for Royal Stillman. DH, 5'8", he's a lefty, 5'8". Another ground ball first base B. We just had that play, so we do it again. It is a 3-6. So back-to-back fielder's choices. Here's Eric Soderholm. 5-5 is a ground ball to short. That's going to end the inning. Piccolo takes care of it and takes care of the White Sox here in the bottom of the 4th. We go to the bottom of the 4th, 2-2. And let's see here. Johnson and Norris both have 5 for their fatigue factor, so they are getting ever so close to that. Here's Wayne Gross. 6-7 against a left-hander is a ground ball second base X. That's Orta. And George Orta. Defensively, Orta is a 4 E23. 4 and a 15, he'll get to that, and that's a 10, so there's no error on a 10 for a second baseman with an E23. I don't believe. I'll verify. Nope, there's an 11, but no 10. And the 4 and the 15 is definitely a good play. It's a G2, but nobody on base, so it's simply a ground out to second. Wayne Gross is out of there. Here's Sheldon Mallory, another lefty. 3-9, ground ball to second, handled by Orta. So back-to-back chances for Orta, and he comes through both places. Here's Newman. Hello, Newman. 6-3. Fly ball left field X. That's Orta. I'm sorry, Gar, rather, not Orta. That's Gar. And Gar is a 4E4. 4 and a 3. That's going to drop in. The 4, error-wise, won't be a problem. A 4 and an 11. There is no 11, but a 4 and a 3 is a double. So it's going to drop in for a double. Jeff Newman with a 2-out double is Gar, not the best of range out there. And I'll bring up Piccolo, who singled in his only trip so far. 1-9. This time he's going to ground to short. Handled by Bannister to end the inning. So 4 innings are in the books here at the Big O, with the score tied at 2. And now that we're starting the 5th, we have to watch for fatigue. Both pitchers have that number 5, so we'll keep an eye on that. Here now is Chet Lemon. 6-5 against a right-hander, ground ball shortstop X. That's Piccolo. And Piccolo, 3E26. 3 and a 6. 3 and a 6. Oops, let's get the right chart out there, not pitcher chart. We need the infielder chart. 3 and a 6. 3 and a 6 is a G3, so we'll get to that. And that's an 11, and he is an E26. Shortstop, E26, no 11. There's a 12 there, but no 11, so it's a good play for Piccolo. Lemon's retired. That brings up Brian Downing. .511, and that's a ballpark home run chance. Downing does have normal power. It's a 1 to 8. A 1 through 8, and Downing will go deep. And he does. It's a 7. Now, I believe you can rob home runs in Oakland. The wall's not that large. So, if we go to our robbing the home runs, let's make sure that's the case here. Yeah, fly ball P, we can rob the home run. So, the batter was right-handed, and it is the, let's see here, 7 is the, 8 was the ballpark, 7. No, we're not going to rob home runs. It has to be a 9. It has to be the first number in the out range or the last number in the home run range. 7 is, if it had been an 8, we'd be checking robbing home runs. Not a 7, so my bad. That home run is a good one. Not to spoil the parade of Downing and make him have to delay his satisfaction. But Downing with the home run. And the Sox are back on top 3-2. So, official scorekeeping snafu there. Sorry about that. Ralph Garr, top of the order, 5-7. Ground ball to second. That's handled by Rodney Scott. And Garr is retired. 2 down for Alan Bannister. 6-4. Ground ball shortstop X. That's Piccolo again. A lot of X chances on these A's pitcher cards. 4. And Piccolo's a 3. That's almost assuredly going to be a hit. 3 and a 4 is a hit. And it's a 3 on his error. He's an E26. There is no 3, but it will go through for a base hit. So Bannister, his second hit of the game. It's 2 for 3. Keeps the inning going for George Orta. Orta 6-11 against the lefty. 6-11. It's a ballpark single check. And it's a 1-4. And that's a 7, so he's going to line to second. And that's the end of the inning. But the home run from Brian Downing puts the White Sox ahead 3-2 as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Norris with 2 dings against him, so he can withstand 2 more dings before he gets his point of weakness. And that brings up Bill North, top of the order. The 5-10, North switch hitter batting left, 5-10. 1-9 to single. Anything else, he will ground to second. That's a 7. That's a base hit. So Bill North with a single, and he's definitely a threat to run. So we'll check his chance to get a jump. It's a 7, which means he does get the jump. And Bart Johnson, unfortunately for him, is a +3 hold rating. And Downing's arm is a +2, so that's a +5. So North 15 + 5 is 20, -2 for being held is 18. So unless this is a 19 or 20, he's going to make it. And he does. It's an easy stolen base for Bill North. So he gets into scoring position as the tying run with nobody out for Rodney Scott. Scott could bunt him to third, but they're going to let him swing away. See if we can get a hit. 3-8. 3-8. It's ground ball pitcher B, so he's going to have to hold. As the ball was hit right back to the pitcher, so not able to advance. Here's Mitchell Page. 5-4. Ground ball third base X. That's Soderholm. He's a 2E11. 2 and a 6. We'll check that. 2 and a 6. 2 and a 6 is a G2. And this is an 8. He's an E11. There is no 8. So a G2 with a runner on second. If it went to the right, he could have advanced, but since it was hit to the left side of the infield, he has to hold. So 2 down. As Bart Johnson trying to strand the runner here, but you got the ever-dangerous Dick Allen up. His sacrifice fly is last time up, 1-9, but he will strike out this time. So Bart Johnson coming through in the clutch. keeps the A's off the board, and we go to the 6th. It's still 3-2 White Sox. And Norris back out. The A's bullpen is up. Doug Baer is loosening in the Oakland bullpen. So Richie Zisk, and actually Stan Bonson is also warming up. So they got 2 of them there. Bonson more of a long reliever, and Baer more the short reliever. All right, here's Richie Zisk trying to get that hitting streak. He's 0 for 2, or actually 0 for 1. He's grounded out and walked. We get a 5-6, 5-6. He struck him out, so Zisk in serious jeopardy with the hitting streak. He might get one more at bat unless this game goes extra innings. Might only be looking at one more at bat. Here's Spencer, 5-7. He's going to ground to second, so Norris hanging tough. 2 up, 2 down for Royal Stillman. 3-9 for Stillman. He grounds to second. So Norris, 1, 2, 3 inning means he's going to get to pitch another inning the way he's going. He has not reached his point of weakness yet, so he's still good to go. And Bart Johnson back out on the bump. Bruce Dow Canton is loosening in the Chicago bullpen in case Johnson should run into issues. Here's Sanguillen. Now he only gave up 1 hit, so he can give up 3 more dings before he gets tired. 6-3 is a fly ball left field X. That's Gar. Could be trouble. It's a 4-E4. 4 and a 10. It's going to be questionable. 4 and a 10 is a single, so he did not get to it. 4 and 10 is a single. That's an 11. E4 and 11. No 11 there, but it will be a single as Gar was unable to get to that. So Sanguillen with a leadoff single. He's a slow runner, so he's not going anywhere. Did steal 2 bases, but got caught 5 times. So he's going to be prudent and hold. Here's Gross, 6-9, and it's a good thing too. Look at this, 6-9. 1-8's a triple. 9-20 is a double. That's a 2, so it is a triple for Wayne Gross, and we have ourselves a tie game at 3. So Bart Johnson appears to be losing it all of a sudden as Wayne Gross gets the hit. Now the infield's going to have to come in against Sheldon Mallory. We get a 5-7 against the lefty. That's a single to right field, and that's going to be it for Bart Johnson. The A's have just now taken the lead, and Bruce Dow Canton will be coming in from the bullpen. The A's now lead it by the score of 4-3. Johnson cannot win it. He can lose it, or he could get a no decision if the White Sox come back. So to face Jeff Newman, the new batter, it's going to be right-hander Bruce Dow Canton. So Dow Canton in the pitch. See what he can do. Newman is at first with the Mallory's at first, and Mallory with his running, he stole 12 bases, so he might look to run here. He's a pretty good runner, and Dow Canton is a +4, so with Downey being +2, it's an automatic +5. So if he gets the jump, he's guaranteed to make it unless it's a 20. Even if he doesn't get the jump, with that +5, that's an 11 +5 is a 16, so really no reason not to try it. So let's see if he can get the jump. He cannot be picked off. 4, he does get the jump, so basically, unless this is a 20, he'll make it. And he does. It's a stolen base for Mallory. So he's in the scoring position with nobody out for Jeff Newman, and takes the double play away also. 5-5 is a strikeout. So Dow Canton, that's what he needed, was a strikeout. Big strikeout there. 1 away for Piccolo. Mallory still at second. 4-5. Fly ball to right field B. 2 down. And that'll bring up Bill North. Yes, Dow Canton tries to pitch out of this mess. 5-5 against the lefty. Struck him out. So, boy, Dow Canton, yeoman work there to get out of that mess and keep the Sox right in the game. It's 4-3 as we go to the 7th. And Dow Canton in a big greeting from the Sox bullpen. I'm sorry, from the Sox bench in their dugout, is he really did the job. So now Doug Bayer is continuing to loosen for the A's as Mike Norris is up. See what he can do. He's got that 1-run lead facing Soderholm. It's a 5-9. That's an in-home run, so that's what he's going to do. Is give up a home run automatically. In-home run. Soderholm's an in-power, so Southside hitmen don't sweat being down by 1. They just start hitting again. And Soderholm was just tied the game. And that'll bring up Chet Lemon, and they're going to make the move to the bullpen. They're not going to let Norris lose it. They're just going to give him a no decision. It is now 4-4, and he goes 6+, facing 25 batters. And Doug Bayer is on now for the A's. Doug Bayer, he's got a relief rating of 3, so he can go a few innings, obviously. So Doug Bayer is on. So for the manager there, Jack McKeon, the Sox will give him a headache, so he turned to Bayer. Here's Chet Lemon, 6'9". 6'9". Ballpark home run chance right here. Diamond shot 1-8. Could be back-to-back jacks on a 1-8. That's a 20, so he's going to fly to left. As Lemon allowed out, but nothing doing. Here's Brian Downing. Speaking of home runs, he hit a homer his last at bat. 2-5. He's going to ground to short. 2 down. Now bring up the top of the order, Ralph Garr. It's had a rough day. He's 0 for 3. 6-5. Ground ball to short. It's going to be Peachlow. He is a 3 E26. 3-1. That's a base hit. Big time. It's a single for sure. 8 on an E26. There is no 8, but it is a single for Ralph Garr. So a 2-out single for Garr. So he gets his first hit of the game. And let's see about his running. Stole 12 bases, but was caught 7 times. But Bayer's a +7 hold rating, so you can't pass that up. Newman is a -1. It's still a +6, but the best you can get is +5. So they're going to see if he can get the jump here. A 2 through 6 or a 12 will do it. It's a 5, but it's a 1, so it's a chance here for something to happen. A pickoff, I do believe. Let's go back and look at the rules. We pause the video while we look at the rules. Okay, just had to refresh my memory on how that was done. What you do, 1 is a possible pickoff, so we go to a secondary number, which is a 12. Roll the D20. If it's a 1 through 12, he gets back. If it's 13 through 20, he gets picked off. It's a 14, he's picked off. So Ralph Garr picked off by Bayer, who does not have a good move, but somehow he managed to fool him. And that's the end of the inning. And Garr, a little chagrin getting picked off there. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning stretch time. Dow Canton back out for another inning of work. Facing Rodney Scott, the dangerous leadoff hitter. If he gets on, he can fly. So we'll see how that works out for him. Tied 4-4, bottom of the 7th. Switch hitting Scott, batting left, 6-6. Fly ball to right, handled by Zisk, and that's 1 away. And speaking of Zisk, he's going to bat in the next inning. Probably his last chance to keep that hitting streak going. Mitchell Page, 4-8, lefty, 4-8's a walk. So Mitchell Page, and he's definitely a threat to run. He stole 42 bases, only got caught 5 times. So a 2 through 5 is what he needs to get the jump. A 2 through 5. It's a 9, so he does not get the jump, which means he'd be back at a 13. -4 would be a 9. But then you'd add 4 for Dow Canton, makes it a 13. Downing 2 more. Well, it can only be a +5. So 13 minus 4 is a 9, plus the 5 is a 14. So even though he can't get the jump, he's going to try to steal anyway. 1 through 14 would do it. And he does it. Stolen base. So even though he didn't get the jump, the battery combination of Dow Canton and Downing not very good. So that will allow Mitchell Page just to get in a scoring position with 1 out for Dick Allen. And that could be a very big steal there. Allen, a 4-8 against the right-hander is a walk, so he would have gotten second base anyway, as it turns out, with that walk. Now it brings up Sanguillen. So Dalcanton did so great the last inning, he's struggling this inning. Here's Sanguillen. Double play is now in order, though. 1-8, and he just hit right into it. Tailor-made ground ball shortstop A on a 1-8, 6-4-3. That's going to do the inning here. So Dalcanton says, "What are you sweating about? I had it planned all along." And at the end of 7, we are tied at 4. And Doug Bayer back out on the bump. You're facing Alan Bannister, George Orta, and Richie Zisk. So again, could be the last chance for Richie Zisk. Here's Bannister, 3-2. Line out third base max, but nobody's on base, so it's simply a regular old line out. You're not going to get a double or triple play. 1 down. Here's George Orta. 6-8 against a lefty, and Orta found a base hit. 1-4 is a double. 5-20 is a single. That's a 1-out single for George Orta. So maybe that might help Zisk with having a runner on base. Maybe that'll help distract Bayer a little bit. We shall see. Let's see here. Yeah, every inning so far, Zisk has led off the inning. So this is his first chance to bat with somebody on base. So maybe that will help him out. We'll see. It's a 1. Chance for a wild pitch, which is a 15. So 1-15 for Bayer is a wild pitch. And it is. So, I'm sorry, it is not. It's 17. It's out of range. So, we're going to re-roll. Almost messed that one up. Here's Zisk. 4-11 against a right-hander. Struck him out. So, unless this thing goes extra innings, Zisk hitting streak is going to end at 11 games, which is still pretty impressive. All right, here's Spencer. 2-9 for Spencer. Ground ball to, I'm sorry, it was 3-9. 2-9, ground ball to second. It's going to end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 8th, still tied. I forgot to put, thought something was wrong. That was a home run in the 7th. I don't know why I put a 0 there. Should be a 1. Don't have the white out with me, so I'll fix it later. But it is 4-4, folks. I didn't mean to cheat the Sox out of a run there. It is 4-4, so it's, the possibility of extra innings is certainly not out of the question. Dalcanton probably in his last inning of work. And he'll be facing Wayne Gross. Gross, a 4-11, is a ground ball to first, handled by Spencer, 1 away. That'll bring up Sheldon Mallory, who tripled his last time up. I'm sorry, who singled his last time up. It was Gross who tripled last time. 4-9 is a 1 for a single. Anything else, he will ground to Spencer. And that's exactly what happened. So back-to-back grounders to first. 2 quick outs. That'll bring up Jeff Newman. Newman, 1 for 3 with a double. 5-3. Ground ball first base X. So they're really wearing Spencer out over there. Spencer's a 1 rated first baseman. And it's a 13, so we don't even need the D20. We're just going to roll for an error. That's a 7. And we're looking at first base, a 13. There is no 7, so it's good play. Spencer will handle all 3 chances. And we go to the 9th, tied at 4. And we may get, let's see, Bayer, I think, can go 1 more inning. Because, like I said, he's got a 3 there, and he came on, and he hasn't really done anything. He's pitched 2 complete innings, but other than giving up 2 singles, he hasn't given up much, so he's in there. Facing Royal Stillman now. Dalcanton's day is done, so they will be turning to the bullpen. Most likely, Laren LeGros, but we will see how it turns out. Right now, here's Royal Stillman. To lead off the 9th, 1-8, pops it up to first. 1 away, and that brings up Soderholm. Soderholm homered his last time up against Norris. 5-6 against Bayer. He strikes out. So Doug Bayer, just the remedy the A's were looking for. He has done really well. Here's Lemon. 5-6, struck him out. So we're going to the bottom of the ninth, tied at 4. And coming in for the White Sox will be new pitcher Laren LeGros. So LeGros is out there now. And he'll be facing Piccolo to start the bottom of the ninth. Now Piccolo's a 200 hitter, so you wonder if they might go to the bench here. But they don't really have a whole lot defensively to replace him with. So we're going to go ahead and stick with Piccolo, I think. See what he can do against Laren LeGros. So LeGros is on. Laren LeGros facing Piccolo, 5-9. Pop up to the shortstop, 1 away. Handled by Bannister. So we're 2 outs away from extra innings. And Zisk would get a chance to possibly get that hitting streak if we did go to extra innings. 6-6, but not to be premature. 6-6 against the lefties. A pop out to Orta. 2 down. So unless Rodney Scott can do something magical here, we will be going to extra innings. Last thing you want in the second game of a doubleheader is to go extra innings. 4-5. 4-5. That's an in-home run chance, but he has weak power, so the best he can do is a single in a 1-10. 11-20, he'll fly to Zisk. It's a 10, so it's a base hit, but it won't be a home run anyway. But now we're looking to run. He's a 0 hold, but Downing's a +2, so if he gets the jump, it's a 15. He automatically gets a jump because it's 2 through 12. So 15 plus the 2 is a 17, minus 2 for being held, so 15. So 1-15, he'll make it, and he does. It's a stolen base, but what that's going to do is they're going to intentionally walk Mitchell Page. They're not even going to mess with Mitchell Page, and they'll take their chances with Dick Allen. So maybe not a smart move to steal there, but want to force the hand of the Sox. So here's Allen, the veteran. 6'4", fly ball center field X. That is Chet Lemon. Chet Lemon, his defensive prowess. It's a 3 E13. 3 and 11. I'm pretty sure he'll get to that on a 3 and 11. 3 and an 11 is an F2. We're checking the error. That's a total of 14. He's an E13. E13, that's a 14. E13. Ooh, somehow he managed to get by. There's a 16, 15, and 17 there, but no 14. So he makes the catch by the skin of his teeth, and we are going to extra innings. So we're going to the 10th, and we got a new pitcher for the A's. We're right back with that new pitcher. Okay, new pitcher for Oakland is Dave Justy. He is in. Bear went 3 innings, gave him all he had. Here's Brian Downing, 1-5. 1-11. Whoops, sorry about that. 1-11 is a single. And it is a single for Brian Downing. So a leadoff single. He's not a threat to steal, but he's on base, and that's what they want. Here's Ralph Garr. Garr, a 6'4", lefty. 6'4" is a ground ball shortstop X. That is Piccolo. He's a 3 E26. 3 and a 2. That's going to be a base hit. No question about it. 3 and a 2 is an SI2. So that means the runner, Downing's going to get to third. So runners are at the corners with nobody out. And we'll check for the error. That's an 11 on an E26. There is no 11, but it's a single with 2 stars. So all of a sudden, runners at the corners, nobody out. Justy. They're going to play the infield in. Double play. They can't even afford to give a double play. They got to cut the run. 4-6. Fly ball to left field B. That's a sacrifice fly. So Bannister gets the job done. Bringing in Downing. And the Sox lead it now 5-4. And that'll bring up George Orta. And if he can get on, Zisk will get another chance. If he just avoids a double play, he'll get another chance. 3-10, ground ball second base C, so it's not a double play. Runner will advance. Now, the A's could be very mean here and intentionally walk Zisk, but you got Spencer behind him, so I think with righty on righty, you don't walk Zisk. You don't want to face Spencer either. Spencer's Spencer hit 18 home runs with 69 RBI, so he's no joke. So they're going to pitch to Zisk. In all fairness, we'll let him pitch to him. 1-7, but he struck out, so he had every chance, couldn't do it. So the hitting streak looks like it is by the wayside. But more importantly for the Sox, they take a 5-4 lead as we go to the bottom of the 10th. And Laren LeGros, looking to finish this thing out and qualify for a win, will be facing Manny Sanguillen. Start things off. That's a 1-9, and that's a fly ball to right field for out number 1. It brings up Wayne Gross. 4-8. 4-8 is a fly to center. That's 2 down. So 1 out away from a doubleheader sweep, and taking 3 of 4 from the A's. It's Sheldon Mallory. 3-11. 1-14 is a single. 15-20, he lines to second. It's an 18, he lines to second, snagged by Orta, and the ball game is over. The Sox outlast the A's in 10 innings by the final score of 5-4. That's going to do it from Oakland Coliseum, and this 4-game series with the A's is now over. We move on to Detroit for Game 15. After 14 games, the Sox are now 10-4. So until next time, hope you enjoyed that broadcast of Strat-o-matic Baseball, White Sox style, 1977. Until next time, we'll see you all down the road.